What's up, everyone? Happy almost Friday the 13th. Oh, hang on. I had an echo. I have a backup plan for comments today, so in case StreamYard does something stupid again. So that was fun over at Benny's. Like, here, that whole thing, I commend. I'm going to tread lightly because these people don't like me and I don't really care for them. But I kind of understood the intent behind the interview. I mean, let's face it, Ernie did a shit job with his. I personally would have liked to hear a few questions about what Beth McStuffins thought about the whole Ernie fiasco. But hey, let me say hello to everyone. We are going to have to hustle today. Not really. We're not going to rush. So, hello, Fox. We are going to have to do, of course, my dog's going to start barking. We are going to have to do a giveaway for Fox eventually. Salty Nuts said we should do a cupcake giveaway, and I am all for that. Give them all to me. Hello, Pindar, Izzy, MS, BGE, Lickety, Chica, Dragon Spirits, Graham, hello, Amy, Pindar, Amber. Amber, I was so pissed last night that girl was talking to you and about you like that. Skunk, Libby, hello, Raylan, Lion Mama. I might sneeze in a minute, and if I do, you guys are going to laugh at me because it's not pretty. Jackie, hello, Freeside. Amazing Grace. Hey, Nick, Queen Ashley. Hello, Libs. All right, thank God, everyone. So, I was pretty fired up last night. Ziggy, you bitch. It's been a while since I've, gone for her throat. And the last time I did, it was about the bones. So, I find it totally comical that she sat there, just kept saying, you liar, you liar. Ziggy, you made yourself look like a whole asshole last night. You know that. You looked so stupid. You screamed yourself into having no voice. Could you imagine getting that hot and bothered over a topic who, let's face it, you are the catalyst of, right? You did this, dum-dum. I'm not going to say it's all your fault that things have elevated to this point, but you started it, girl. This is all you. So it made no sense to me whatsoever that one of your key points last night was, you brought this to the internet, Benny. You brought it to the internet. Okay, let's think this through. Sit down, put your thinking cap on, Zigster, and let's process this together. I'll even hold your hand. You, ma'am, wanted him to approach his community, his loyal followers who are just so great. We're all so awesome and so loyal and so caring, and we are. You wanted him to approach everyone to donate money to the cause. And I'm going to be very clear right out of the gate. None of this is directed at a grieving mother. Don't come at me with that shit saying that I'm attacking her. Don't come at me saying that I am using her son, because I am absolutely not. This is all about Ziggy. All about her. The situation in question is unfortunate. I'm a very sympathetic and empathetic person. I can't imagine a loss like that. But to hear Ziggy sit up there on her high horse last night and scream at the top of her lungs and just twist it into something completely unrecognizable. You're a moron. So she starts out, and we all know that there is a need. There is an item that needs to be purchased that no mother ever wants to have to be in the position to purchase. It's unnatural. Mothers should not have to bury their children. I think we can all agree on that. Here's where the issue was, Ziggy. You were the main issue. Nobody wanted to get involved with anything regarding money that your name was attached to. Because if we take a little history trip, we have seen you bleed your community dry to support your deranged lifestyle. I think you even maxed out someone's credit card without permission and then either refused to pay or were very slow paying it back. You were constantly having utilities being turned off or, at risk of being turned off. And you always came to your community to beg, borrow, and steal. No one wanted to be involved with you in that capacity. The next issue that was raised is, oh my gosh, that is a lot of money, especially on the heels of Christmas, Thanksgiving. A lot of people are having to pay in taxes and not getting hefty refunds back like you probably do, ma'am. So there's all kinds of little factors. Now, I know that you think that you know what goes on in these weird little Discord groups. But bitch, nothing bad was ever said about the situation. In fact, there was a group of us trying to rack our brains and figure out the most cost-effective way to be able to help. That's what you don't know. We had someone who was willing to rent a U-Haul, have the headstone made someplace that was a little less expensive, same design, font, all of those things, and drive it to her. We also kicked around the possibility that, okay, where they're located, they had heavy snow. It's going to be a couple of months at least before, one, it's finished, like they have it all designed, made, engraved, all of that stuff. And then to be able to install it. Hey, yeah, Mom. Hello to everyone coming in. Hey, Benny. So there's time, right? So people were even thinking about, okay, how much is needed for whatever expenses need to be paid, plus the headstone, plus, how much in total for everything is needed, minus how much is already there. So we could have a good idea of what we needed to try to help with. That's what happened in the dumb Discord group, Ziggy. You freaking nature. It's not what you said. See, you want everyone to believe that we're all plotting and planning and doing whatever we can to break up your friendship with her. Nobody fucking cares who you're friends with. Nobody cares. I think this is my theory, and no one has to agree with me. I will take this responsibility. I think that you are just a manipulative, opportunistic slug who sees this as a way in to befriend someone who has hated your guts more often than not since the day you started your channel. we've all seen the history with you two. And I'm not saying that you don't have a real friendship now. I hope like hell that you do. Don't squander this opportunity, Ziggy. I think that you saw this as a way in. I mean, let's face it, your community has died out. It's a way different vibe over there than it was when I was over there defending you against Benny. Now I'm going to go for your throat on his behalf because you were a total bitch last night and you should be ashamed of yourself. You fucking scrub. So she thinks that we're all trying to plot and plan and we want to bust up the friendship and, you know, that Nicolina is the cause of everything. She doesn't want you guys to be friends and we're influencing Benny to make all these poor choices and we're going to ruin his life. Bitch, are you serious? Because I guarantee you that none of us are making phone calls to affect his real life. None of us are doing anything less than praising him and supporting him and trying to maintain positivity. Because when you're constantly telling someone, oh, you're going to fail, you're going to relapse, you're going to do this. No, you keep the momentum going. You set the tone, right? Positive reinforcement is a beautiful thing. I imagine that you don't get much of that, Ziggy, because you are a loser. So she says, let's see. Oh, she got hung up on, I have notes. They're just not in order. She got hung up on the whole needs versus wants thing. Like she spent a lot of time on that because she just thought it was ridiculous that the comparison between a headstone and a car was being made. Let me spell it out for you. Let me get my crayon. The reason a car was used is because a car is one of the most expensive day-to-day things you can purchase, right? A fancy sports car is ridiculously expensive. It's like driving a Civic and saying, I want a BMW. That's not a bad thing. The comparison was in the needs versus wants, Ziggy. It had nothing to do with comparing wanting a car to a tragedy. You completely got lost in the example. I can't expect too much more from you, though, because you are not known for using your thinking skills. I don't even know if you have any. But the things that you were saying was even more disgusting than the things you were accusing others of. I think you even said, oh, I don't even want to repeat this because it was so gross. You tried to insinuate, what did you say? I'm trying to remember verbatim. Oh, you said, I'm sure she wanted her son to die so she could buy a headstone. Are you stupid? Are you that stupid? That was not the point being made at all. She said that nobody's been calling probation. That just doesn't make any sense. It's going to happen on a Tuesday night or a Monday night and you're going to get called in the next day. Ziggy. Yes. Depending on what was stated when someone calls someone's probation officer. If they call and say, hey, one of your, I don't even know what they're called. One of your people you're in charge of is over here threatening to take someone's life, they're going to show up right then, right? If someone calls and says, hey, I think someone that is under your supervision is using again, they're going to get them in immediately to test, dum-dum. They're not going to just be like, okay, let's make an appointment for Thursday of next week. Chances are good you're going to get that phone call first thing in the morning and have to go right then. It's a very small window they give you. Hang on one second. Oh my gosh, I had to turn on the air conditioner. It's like summertime here. So to sit there and say, that's a lie, that's a lie. See, you need people to view him as the bad guy. That's like your security blanket. And you kept saying, well, you brought private messages. No, nobody saw any messages. Heard about them, the same as you. And you got confused on that point and made yourself sound stupid because you kept saying, oh, I wrote a text message this morning from yesterday. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. But if you quit screaming long enough, you probably could have heard it. What he said was, I asked her to stop texting my mom yesterday. Today it happened again and I saw the message. Are your comprehension skills not on par with most of us? I'm thinking you might have an issue with that. So we talked about the stupid car, which she missed the point on that. Then she had to go bring up his children. And I think that is where I know that's what struck a nerve with me and with a few other people when we were watching you in our dumb Discord watch party. That was so below the belt and so tacky. And it wasn't very long ago that you were just apologizing, right? Because you had already accused him of being on rugs and threatened to call his probation officer once already in the past couple of months. Then you apologized for it. And now that it benefits you, now that you can slip it into a situation and try to make it work, you're right back to doing that. I don't think, ma'am, that you are in a position to question or criticize anyone's parenting. And you sitting there saying something like, you basically spit in the faces and abandon all your children. What the fuck? How is that any of your business? And we have seen the questionable choices that you have made in your own parenting. I remember you dragging your child on a trip to meet a bunch of strange people who were involved in a case. Are you stupid? Or how when you drug some other kids along for the ride, it's just not decisions I would make. Therefore, it's not really my business. So I don't just talk about it incessantly. My only point is worry about yourself when it comes to shit like that, because all of that you tried to bring up and use as a weapon has zero to do with the issue at hand. Nothing to do with it. And it told me everything I need to know about you. It just confirmed everything I already knew about you. And you said that you don't care about this YouTube stuff. You don't need it. You're lucky to make $200 a month. Well, you have yourself to thank for that, because you used to do quite well on your channel. But as we've already established, you have bled everyone dry. Oh, Ziggy's daughter was in a hospital because she had alcohol poisoning, and said a man tried to kidnap her twice. These are the things you need to be worrying about. Your neurotic little meltdowns like last night are things you need to be worrying about. Did your kid see all that and hear all that? That was crazy. And the kicker was, for a lot of people, you actually had a chance to listen to yourself before you uploaded that. It's not like you were live. You weren't live doing it. Okay, you took the time and made a whole video and waited until peak hours to upload it and run a chat with it. Guess you did a premiere or something. I don't know. So you had a chance to back out of the mistakes that you made last night, and you didn't do it. And you tried to say, well, I figured since I'm losing my voice, rather than just go live, I would just do a video. What does that matter? It didn't matter if you were live or making a video. You were still screaming like a banshee, losing your voice over something you shouldn't even be worried about. I mean, we have to face the facts. You're a known scammer. No one wants to get involved with anything monetary involving you. And it was presented as, hey, we can do this together. And then it turned into, no, you can do this. And I think that another one of your intentions behind it is because you figured, hey, if I can get in good with this community over here, and then there's other people trickling in from other communities, then I bet they'll come over to my channel. And if I do things like upload stupid ass videos and yell at Benny a lot, then they will send me super chats and they will buy memberships. That's just kind of how I think that your thought process is behind it. That seems like a very Ziggy way to approach things. How many times did she practice all that in the meth room? Yeah, how many times did you like stop and start over? You didn't sound ragey enough, so whoop, quick at it. Girl, please. And she was super convinced that he had to run everything by us, right? She kept stressing that. He listens to everything women tell him to do, and he had to run all this by Nicolina and all those people before he did this video. I just know it. I just know it. You don't know shit. That never happened. Do you really think that man contacts us and says, hey, I'm going to make this video and I'm going to say A, B, and C. What do you think? No. Hey, Paisley, member for 1 month. Thank you. Thank you. You too can purchase a membership. I don't remember how to gift them, so we'll have to do that at another time. Yes, always endangering her kid. When she went to go do the bones thing, wasn't her kid with her then too? And then now, I mean, she married someone who's involved in a missing child's case in some capacity. Yes, she wanted that money, Raylan. She thought she was about to get a big old payday from all these new subs that were going to come over there. All she has to do is talk shit about him and talk shit about Nick. And then she thinks she has her foot in the door. Everybody knows what a scumbag you are. Everybody knows what a liar you are and what a scammer you are. Everybody that I've talked to think that you looked like a complete idiot last night. So she was insinuating that, what's the big deal? No, you didn't get called into probation. And What's the big deal? What's there to hide? So there you are again, insinuating that there is something to hide when there's not. Let me explain that to you, Ziggy. It's just the sheer headache of having to deal with that, right? The man has a job. He's doing productive things in life. If he's not at work, he's usually on call. Do you understand what a job like that entails? This man comforts people's families, takes care of people's family members at a time where a lot of people can't do it. Sees some of the most horrific things that a human being shouldn't have to see. And he does it with compassion and clarity. And from what I've talked to him about it, he seems to really have a good heart for it. So are you sitting here literally trying to convince a couple of communities of people that he is just so heartless that he just doesn't want her to have the headstone that she wants? Is that really what you're trying to spin? Because I don't see how those two things go together. I just don't. I don't think that someone who does that on the daily for people's families is going to begrudge a mother of a headstone for their only child. That wasn't the issue. The issue is there was money sitting there. Okay, I'm going to say it. And I don't mean to sound heartless or cruel. And it's just because I don't have an understanding of what money was supposed to be allotted for what. We wanted to help. You dumb. We wanted to help. But we needed to know what we were up against. Thank you, Raylan. Thank you, Nick, for $4.99 super chats. Let me go up and read them. I'm trying not to get distracted. Yes, Raylan is Benny's boss. Ziggy, don't you forget it, you bitch. Ziggy is using this tragedy for content, cash apps, and super chats. Yes. So it's pretty ironic that she is sitting there giving him such a hard time, saying that he is just using this for content. He's not the one creating problems with it. We definitely don't just sit around and talk about it all day. Hey, Prime. So that's the big deal. When people start threatening to make calls on you that could affect your real life, Ziggy, it's not necessarily that there's something to hide. It's just the fact that when you already have a full life, having to take time out of your busy schedule to do things like run in for a last minute visit over YouTube nonsense, it's a little aggravating. It has nothing to do with there being something to hide. And you know that. Deep down, you do know that. But this is just better. This makes for better content, right? Let's just try to convince everyone that he's up to no good again. No. Nothing about the way he conducts himself and the things he says or how he moves recently is any indication to me that he's using any substance whatsoever, other than Red Bulls. But even those don't give him wings, or so I've heard. Kept calling him a crybaby. Bitch, you even said, if you're gonna support this, don't talk to me ever again. Boo-hoo. Well, boo-hoo, bitch. Boo-hoo to you. I hate that all this is a thing. Ziggy, you're a bad person who is the definition of a projector. Have a great day. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Benny. Absolutely. So much projection going on last night. And when you really look at the reality of the situation, she had it all wrong. Then further on, she decides she wants to start reading comments that were left under his post and his video. Lori, I think she did monetize it. I'm pretty sure that I saw her little dollar sign down in the corner. I did not see her chat lighting up though. Oh, Maggie's freaking out. I did not see anyone sending her anything though, so there might be another outburst coming soon. I'm sure that there are bills to pay. But when she was reading people's comments, the way she minimized and disregarded the losses of other people in our community, it made me physically ill. That was like the point where I knew beyond a shadow of doubt that I was going to be throwing some shit in her face. Because when I heard her respond to what Benny said about his grandfather and the way he fought for our country, and, you know, and she was just like, a grandfather who lived a full life didn't get a headstone or whatever. Wah, wah. And then there were other people who had made reference to family members they had lost in the comments. And she just wasn't having it. She dug her heels in and she was not going to open her eyes or open her mind and say, yeah, even though these people didn't lose a child, it's still a loss. Both of my parents are gone, Ziggy, and it's been 16 years for my mom and almost 5 for my dad. It doesn't get any easier. So for you to sit there and say some of the things you said about people last night and putting on this outrageous show and song and dance that you had going, it made you look insane. It had the complete opposite effect on almost everyone else. And the things that were being written in your chat last night were gross. You are such a manipulative bitch. That's really the only words I can use to describe you. You only care about yourself. This isn't about you being a true friend to anyone. This is about you making yourself feel good, making yourself feel included, wanted, needed. What do you think is going to happen when you're not useful anymore? Do you honestly think that I'm not even going to go there. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. And this is not the time for that. Maybe we'll circle back around to that when things have died down some. What was in the chat? Accusations of him being on drugs again. Accusations and criticisms about parenting, about being a loser, about not caring. A lot of that was being written in the chat. I think that it is not out of the realm of norm to prefer that someone not reach out to your parent regarding YouTube stuff, right? And Ziggy was adamant. That never happened. That never happened. She's never said Nicolina's name. We weren't talking about on YouTube, Nimrod. It was about the text messages. And I don't know what kind of text messages were exchanged between her and his mom, nor do I want to know. But I would venture to say that you probably don't know either. Although you kept saying that you know for a fact and you were certain and this is the way it is, but you don't really know. Just like you don't really know that he comes to us and gets approval for everything. He doesn't go to Nicolina to get approval for everything. He doesn't have to run anything by any of his female lady handlers who tell him what to do. That doesn't happen. Do you honestly think that he would listen to any of us if we tried to give him our pointy finger and say, you better do this? What? He's a grown ass man. He might ask people's opinions about things. But let's just say that we're all sitting in Discord bullshitting. And don't act like there's not any other dumb Discord things going on, Ziggy. Don't pretend. But let's just say that we were all just hanging out in there, having a good time, laughing at people like you. 9 times out of 10, he'll just say, be right back. And then when he comes back, maybe he might have uploaded something. Who the fuck knows? But there is no permission slips being signed. There's no like scripts being written. There is no orders being given. None of that's happening. You're just stupid. But to say that someone got to live their whole life and their loss just isn't as important as someone else's is dumb. Because to the family, to the person on here who lost a loved one, it is everything to them. We all know what it's like to have to say goodbye to someone we love and care about, someone who has been a constant our entire life. And you want to give them the most amazing send-off that you can. You want everything to be perfect and impeccable and good quality. Nobody is taking that away. That has never been the issue. I'm going to say it one more time, Ziggy. The issue was your involvement and the fact that we just needed to know, okay, how much do we actually need? Because everyone knows that there is a GoFundMe. I personally am not going to share the link here. It's not that I don't want to. I think that by me sharing the link here, I think that that might be in poor taste considering what my topic is. I know that a link to it is out there. I would never tell anyone not to donate. And you know what, Ziggy? Nicolina donated, you dumb bitch. I think twice. And as far as the Mean Girls are concerned, she told us that there was a GoFundMe. And she did share the link with us if we wanted to go donate. And I think maybe a couple of other people might have. That's never been an issue. I just feel like it's not the best idea for me to share it because I have not personally talked to Tiffany in a couple of years. I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes, but if someone would love to donate to the cause, I'm sure the link for it is either on Ziggy's channel or on Tiffany's channel. Feel free if you feel compelled to give. I know that it would make her very happy to be able to do that for her son. Just avoid Ziggy at all costs. At all costs. Don't give that bitch a dime. There are other factors that came into play for other people. If you watched 6 Up's live last night, Benny went on her panel and he talked about some of the reasons that he had concerns. I'm not going to get into that. It's not my story to tell. But he has reasons for his concerns too. And I think a lot of other people have those same, it's like once bitten, twice shy. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That kind of thing. It's hard these days to do any kind of crowdfunding or raising money for different causes. It's hard because of the things that this community has been through. We've been through a lot when it comes to raising money for situations and for people. People have been burned a lot. So I don't think that it is, I don't think it's weird that people just want to know what they're giving to, because the GoFundMe I know had, I think the last time I physically looked at myself was like at 43,000. It's my understanding that that was a GoFundMe that was started a couple of years ago. That's all fine and good. That is great. I am so happy that that GoFundMe has done so well. But that's a lot of money. So is there anything above that money that is still needed? These are not unreasonable questions. It's just like when a charity in the real world needs to raise money. They usually have a budget written up for this money needs to go to this. This money needs to go to that. If there's money that's just needed for temporary day-to-day life, that's great. Just say that. People have a hard time getting behind something that's just like, I just need this for this. I'm not going to be open to listening to any other suggestions. I'm not interested in any other options. Okay, this is what you want. Let's help you get it. What kind of payment plans can we work out with the company? Not everything has to be paid up front. Like I said, it's going to take time for them to make the headstone, install the headstone. They will usually let you pay that down a little at a time. And then once it's paid in full, then they'll go install it and everything is taken care of. Those are the things that we were talking about in Discord, Ziggy. Oh my gosh, my dog. Sorry, you guys. She weighs like 7.5 pounds and makes all that noise. But the pit bull's outside, so she's going nuts. I'm going to go to a different room. So those are the things that we talked about. We weren't saying we're not going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then everything turned to shit, Ziggy. Everything turned to shit, and everyone's opinions and attitudes about it changed. People started thinking, well, damn, why is she reacting like that? People are trying to help, so what's the problem? Then when she couldn't make any headway talking about all the things she knew nothing about, she decided she would pull out the big guns. And she said, the judgment you're going to get, you think this is godly? As you're literally sitting there in judgment of so many other people. That was a little crazy. Let's see. Kept saying pussy made bitch a lot. Can't stand on his own. Listens to what women tell you to do. We convinced him that it was a scam. No, we didn't. People see through you, Ziggy. People knew that you have ulterior motives where all of this is concerned. It's not that he needs to cause problems between you and Tiffany. That's not the case. You need to secure your spot in her life. So you are the one putting all this shit in her head. You are the one that is keeping all this shit going. You need the conflict because you had on your big girl britches last night. You're feeling tough now that you have your good friend. You think you have this whole new team of people behind you, and if you can just get them to hate him enough, it's all gravy, baby. No, it won't be. You will fall flat on your face like you always do. You will get kicked to the curb like many others have been. And it's just not going to work out the way you are hoping. I'm going to read a few comments. It's hot, you guys. Fuck. So hot. Babadookie. I never ask for money, even if I really need it. Yeah, and that's true. I can say that that's probably true for a lot of people. There are a lot of people with needs in our community. If you ever really sit back and pay attention and just listen to some of the stories, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying listen to all of them and believe all of them, but I mean, I've been here like 5 years now. After a while, you can kind of weed through and tell which ones are legit and which ones aren't. This is definitely a legit situation, right? We can all agree on that this is a need. We can understand a mother wanting this for her child, her only child, a child that I know for a fact that even though she and I were not always on the best terms, I know she loved that boy. There's no question about it. But Ziggy, you just had to get your ass all in the middle of it and turn it into this. Why did you have to even come up with this? Why did you feel like you needed to approach him and say, hey, we can do this? Just kidding. I want you to do it. Is it because you knew that nobody would respond to you if you led the charge all on your own? Is it because you don't need your subs and followers to shell out their money for someone else's cause? You need them to support your daily living. Was it because you had planned all along to get the ball rolling and then pull the rug out from under everything and do this? I mean, it's an honest question, Ziggy. I would really like to know. And that's a good question, too, about the taxes on a GoFundMe. I don't know. Um, I've never looked into that. Is that considered, like, do you get a tax write-off when you donate to something like that? Is it considered a charitable donation? And do the recipients have to pay anything on it? Is it considered income? I am going to have to look into that. Oh, okay. A 2.9% fee plus donation. Oh, per donation. So does that go to the taxes? Wow. There's got to be better ways to like crowdfund than GoFundMe. That seems like, I mean, obviously the best way to be would be to donate directly to her, right? That some people don't feel comfortable doing that. Now, my thinking was go ahead and cash in the GoFundMe, pay for whatever expenses, loose ends that need to be tied up, and then we can just focus strictly on the headstone. That's where my train of thought was in the beginning. I mean, if I had an extra 12K laying around, my mama heart would probably be like, here you go, take it. Because I cannot imagine being in her shoes. However, Stop listening to Ziggy. Stop listening to that bitch. She is preying on the fact that you are going through all of these things. This bitch has a motive, and it's not anything good. She said that Benny can't tell the truth about anything. Ziggy, let's talk about the bones. Let's talk about all the bills and utilities getting cut off. Let's talk about the scams. Let's talk about the fake CPS paperwork. Let's talk about the time you got run over by a car because people were stalking you and you got hit walking from the Circle K or whatever. Let's talk about that. How did that work out for you? Did you ever file that police report and, figure out who tried to take you out? You have no business be saying that anybody lies about everything and can't tell the truth because you wear that crown. Let's see. Oh, she says, I know this is what he wants. He wants me to make a video and respond. Well, congratulations, bitch. Mission accomplished. Because that's exactly what you did. So, yay. The fact that you even made that statement and then had the audacity to upload it for everyone to hear just makes you look silly. So if that's really what he wanted was for you to make a video, job well done, Ziggy. But how do you really know, Ziggy, what's true or false? How do you know his feelings about anything or Nick's feelings about anything or any of ours? Have you bothered to reach out to anyone and kind of gauge everyone and see where their mindset was at? Nope, you did not. How do you know the truth about anyone's sobriety? Quit trying to take that away. And I don't mean take it away in the sense that you're trying to sabotage it and push him to do things he shouldn't do. No, I don't think that anyone has that kind of power over him. I think that you are trying to make it a negative thing. You know what you're doing. You're a conniving one. You're sneaky. Then she pressed the point again, bringing it to the internet, bringing it to the internet. Well, how was it supposed to not come to the internet when it was his subs and community that you wanted him to get money from? Did you want him to sit at a desk with his little stationery and pen set and handwrite solicitation letters to everyone? Is that what you expected? Did you expect an Evite to donate? Eventually, it was going to get brought to the internet. That's how it works. Nobody is working behind the scenes to make anyone look like victims and make everything Ziggy's fault. You did a good job all on your own. The issue is you don't want to take responsibility. You don't want to admit that, me having this little ridiculous outburst didn't really help the situation. It pissed a lot of people off. It showed a lot of people who you are as a person because some people aren't even familiar with you. But we know enough about you to know that this has been a long-standing issue between you and everybody. You've had a history of issues with him. You've had a history of issues with Tiffany. You've had issues with a lot of people. It's what you do. Let me read. Oh, yes. Can someone drop the link for that video? The one from yesterday about the Loma? I'm not really going to comment too much on that because that's not what this is about. But I do think that it is an interesting watch. Yeah. And let's keep in mind that when people are going through grief, there's always different stages to grief. There's an angry stage, there's a sad stage, there's a stage where you question everything, acceptance, it's all there. And you may revisit each stage a couple of times. This is a hard thing, I'm sure. But we've seen the things that have been said to other mothers who have gone through something similar. Go and listen to Ziggy's Outburst last night if you haven't heard it. Pay attention to the things she says to other people regarding their loved ones that they've lost. You'll be shocked. And then for her to sit there and pick them out of the comments, bitch, you are tacky. No, grief is not linear. It is different for everyone. Who is dragging a mother about her son's death, Michelle? I haven't heard anyone drag her about that. I don't think that has ever been an issue. Nobody, that hasn't been an issue for anyone that I've seen. Now, I can't say what conversations have happened in private, behind the scenes, behind closed doors, on the phone, through text. All I can attest to is what I've seen on here or conversations that I have been a part of. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was ick. Okay, Michelle, I was confused. I thought you were talking about a different mom. And I remember when all that happened with Paloma. Yes, Salty Nuts, you did just make a new term. Griefing. I will give you a cupcake for that. No, Amber, it is not an excuse to be nasty. And I don't know. Sometimes I think that I'm the weird one. Like my thought process and the way I think about things is so different from everyone else's sometimes. I don't know what kind of headstone it is. I haven't seen any pictures or anything. From what I understand, it's beautiful and big. And I think that there was going to, engraving can be costly, especially if you want like a picture or something like that. I don't know. And everyone feels differently about what someone's final resting place should be like. There's people who want the big everything. I get it. Not everyone can afford it. I know that when I had to bury my mom and my grandma, I couldn't. They have the flat headstones. Um it's not because I felt like they deserved less. It was within my budget at the time. And my beliefs are they're not there. They're not, that's just the shell. They could have a wooden cross and I could still go sit and talk to them or whatever I needed to do to process my grief. I do not go to the cemetery that often. I know some people might be appalled at that. When I go back there, it takes me back to that sad place, and I just don't want to do that. It's a personal preference. It doesn't make me any less of a daughter or any less of a granddaughter. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I missed the comment, Michelle. I'm sorry. Hey, Redstone. I'm trying to see if I missed any other ignorant things that she said. Just the whole thing last night was a shit show. You were way out of line, Ziggy. You took it next level in a lot of ways that you shouldn't have. Exactly, Michelle. Your spirit is gone. You are no longer of this earth. But just because that's my feelings, right, it doesn't negate the fact that other people want different. And that was never an issue. So, Ziggy, wrap your mind around that. Shut the fuck up already and mind your business. Quit trying to attack people's sobriety and the success that they're having in their lives. You have all the time in the world to sit here and dwell on things and think about how miserable you are. You have nothing better to do. And I must say, Ziggy, it would be a cold day in hell with pigs flying and everything before I ever let you come near me with a deck of tarot cards. You are not meant to be doing that. Are you acquainted with the kind of energy that you have? Because the energy you put all out in the wide open last night is not the kind of energy that you need to have when you are reading someone's cards. Stick to painting your nails, selling your dumpster diving makeup or whatever it was you were selling. Exactly. You can't let everyone pray for you because some people don't have any business doing it. You need to be cool, calm, collected. You need to have an open channel to be doing stuff like reading someone's tarot cards, and you better not be charging money for that. You're going to project your bad juju onto everyone else. I never visit my loved one's graves, but a close friend visits her 23-year-old daughter every week. Yes, we all cope in our own way. Ziggy made the comment that, this mother goes twice a day. I'm in full support of that if that's what she needs. I get it. I'm a mom too. And Ziggy, for you to sit there and even fix your face last night to try to say, these people are mothers. Yep, we are. We're also homemakers and some are wives. And we have a full understanding of what adulting is like. I myself am very big on budgeting. So if I can find a more cost-effective way to do something, I'm going to try to do that. And that means whether it's for me or for someone else. You took a situation and you try to turn it into a circus for your own gain. That makes you the vile bitch in the situation. If you put this much energy and effort into getting your shit together, then you wouldn't have to be doing shady things like this to try to gather some subs and make a few bucks. Yep, nurse, cook, provider, jack of all trades, do it all. I hope that I never have to experience the loss of a child. I really do. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I like freak out when one of my kids isn't at home. Like if they're staying somewhere else, or uh, it just, I feel incomplete. It's our job as moms to raise them and boot them out the door. I get that, but they're my babies. They'll always be that, even though every single one of them is taller than me. Yep. Does he even live there? I've always been confused about if he actually lives there. I don't know why I've been thinking that he lives in a completely different state because he can't leave there or something. It's just weird. Weird. But there's been all kinds of weird shit going on around this place lately. The other night, I saw someone hanging out in a chat, like, and I don't know, I'm not familiar with that channel, so I don't know if the people responsible were the ones on the panel. But I saw this person who is, she was over there whining and crying in the chat because people were picking on her. The people she was whining to have done horrible things to someone, like making them insert foreign objects into their ass. There's no polite way to say that. It's gross. But yeah, that happened. And I thought, man, this is where we're at on YouTube. But this is where we're at. Things have changed so much since I started my channel. One thing that hasn't changed, though, is Ziggy. I don't think she ever will. Well, welcome, Babadookie. Everyone's always welcome over here. Thank you for coming. I'm going to read some chat or some comments, and then I'm probably going to skedaddle on out of here. It's getting late for me. Does everyone have big, huge Valentine plans? I do not. Cashing in cans ain't no job. No, it's definitely not. I mean, can she not go like donate? Not talking about the mother in this story. I'm talking about Ziggy. Can she not go donate plasma or something? Whatever they do. Exactly, L. Kennedy. How is making a mess out of this tragic situation helping the loved ones that are grieving? It's not helpful at all. It adds a whole new layer of stress, and I don't know. That bitch thought she was doing something productive last night, and maybe she was hopped up on something and it seemed like a good idea at the time. But it was a dumpster fire, Ziggy. It was a dumpster fire, and you accused people of doing some questionable things and just because guess what, bitch? I'm one of the people in the group that you're accusing, and none of us are doing anything that you said we're doing. I don't know. That's really all I got. She's not ever going to change. Michelle, I'm sure your hubby will buy you something for Valentine's. If he doesn't, just don't cook dinner that night. It is heartbreaking, El Kennedy, because it really has nothing to do with anyone, right? Like it was Ziggy's idea. It was Ziggy's idea, but because it didn't go according to her plan, which if she even had a solid one, now she's wanting to blame everyone else. And the fact that she was trying to be all stealth and sneaky about it and it be a surprise or something, I don't even know what her mindset was. That just further convinces me that there was some weird ulterior motive. Why be so secretive about it? No, Ziggy doesn't need to be simping for anyone but herself. Ooh, an old school jam concert. That sounds fun. Speaking of concerts, there are so many good ones coming up. They just had the singer for Blue October just did like a storytelling concert, or it's coming up. It might be at the end of the month. And I really wanted to go so bad because I saw Blue October last summer and it was amazing. But he was going to do just like a storytelling solo concert, like, and tell the stories behind his songs because he battled addiction. And it was a rough road. And then in March, there is Pierce the Veil. My Chemical Romance is coming up. Bad Omens. So many good things that I can't go to any of them. I'm going to try to go to My Chemical Romance in October, but yeah. Concerts are crazy. I remember when I lived in Vegas and we used to go to most of the concerts at the Huntridge Theater. And it was just like a really small venue, but I saw some of the coolest people play there, like Sonic Youth, White Zombie, Danzig, Voodoo Glow Skulls, Skank and Pickle, 7 Seconds. All of those people for like $20. And now you're doing good to get a ticket to see anyone for around 200. I don't even know who Alabama Shakes is. I'm sorry. I will look it up though. That sounds fun. In April. April's a good time. Is it like an outdoor concert? April's a good time for outdoor venues. All right, guys. The little one is going to be done with flag football practice soon. Isn't that crazy? My kid's playing flag football. She's good at it, though. She's a tough one. Have to remind her that it's just flag football because she will be out there trying to tackle people. Yes, $25 for a ticket. I paid, I think it was $23 to go see Metallica when I think I was a sophomore. So that would have been in like 90, 91. Speaking of Ernie shitting all over the place, he had a court date today. Has anyone looked it up to see if it's been updated? I don't remember if Arkansas had like a little computer thing, like where you could look up people's crap. If he was smart, then he would have had like his doctor or whoever from wherever he's at contact the clerk's office in Arkansas and just let them know. It doesn't mean that they wouldn't go ahead and issue an FTA, but I tried to tell him a long time ago, just stop the bullshit and handle your business so you don't have to worry about it anymore. And he didn't want to listen, and now it is just snowballing into quite the fiasco. Yeah, that's why I'm glad My Chemical Romance is in October because that gives me plenty of time because I have to pay for the ticket to travel there because nobody good ever comes where I live. I always have to drive to Texas. I have to get a t-shirt and a hoodie. That's like necessities. Yeah, I can only imagine. I watched a little bit of Sarah's live the other day about what Bridgewater is like. And I mean, let's be honest, are any of those places something that any of us would ever want to have to endure? But let's just hope that he is getting whatever honest care he can also or possibly get, and that he is receptive to it. So who knows? We'll see. We will see. This is just the beginning of the road for him, though. Was that, oh my gosh, was that the that movie Empire Records? Was that the band that they had in that little video where the dude got all, he ate the brownies and then thought he was in a music video? Maybe not. Not on Rex Manning Day. No pity or sympathy? No, I don't have much pity or sympathy. I mean, I don't wish horrible things on anyone, but I feel like if I give too much pity or sympathy, then that's kind of taking the responsibility away from him. I'm not going to feel sorry for someone who knew what they were doing to themselves and did it anyway. That's what I thought. I love that movie too. All right, you guys, thanks for stopping by. Thank you to any new members, for the members who are celebrating their member birthdays. Thanks to everyone who sent a super chat. I appreciate every penny. Where have all the tigers gone? Yes, Rexy, you're so sexy. All right, guys, have an amazing evening. I will see all of you soon. Don't take anything for granted. Don't be a Ziggy. Bye, everyone.